The friends, Lena, Mark, Sarah, Alex, Jess and Kyle, planned a relaxing weekend getaway in a remote cabin. But as night fell, an eerie chill settled in and the sky turned a disturbing red.
This doesn't feel right.
Lena whispered, watching the ominous sky.
It's just a storm.
Mark said, though he didn't sound convinced. Suddenly, a blinding light engulfed them. They screamed, but the light swallowed their voices. When it faded, they were no longer in the forest. They stood in a nightmarish realm. The sky was dark and swirling, and the ground was cracked and lifeless, reeking of decay.
What just happened?
Kyle asked, fear evident in his voice.
I don't know, but we need to stick together.
The landscape was twisted and horrifying. The ground felt like rotting flesh, and the air was thick with the stench of death. Blackened, gnarled structures loomed around them. They heard low growls and whispers, and shadows shifted at the edge of their vision. A grotesque creature emerged from the shadows, its scales oozing a dark liquid and its teeth jagged and blood-stained. It lunged at Jess, tearing into her with vicious speed. Blood sprayed across the ground as Jess was violently shredded. "Run!" Lena screamed, her voice filled with terror. They fled, but the ground seemed alive, pulsing beneath their feet.
Sarah stumbled, and before she could rise, writhing tendrils wrapped around her, squeezing with crushing force. Blood gushed from her wounds as the tendrils dragged her into the darkness. Her screams cut abruptly short.
Lena, Mark and Alex continued running, their hearts racing. They reached a steep ravine with a chasm filled with thick mist.
With no other choice, they leaped into the mist, landing on the other side.
The ground was soft and spongy, like decomposing flesh, and the mist made visibility nearly impossible.
Growls surrounded them, growing louder.
"We need to keep moving," Lena urged, her voice shaky.
The ground shifted violently, rising beneath them.
They realized they were standing on something alive. The mist cleared to reveal a gigantic, rotting creature with maggots crawling over its flesh.
Its hollow eyes fixed on them as it opened its gaping maw filled with decayed teeth.
Kyle was the first to be grabbed.
The creature's massive hands swiped at him, claws tearing through his chest.
Blood sprayed as Kyle was lifted into the air, his body dangling.
The creature crushed his ribs and bit him in half, devouring him hungrily.
Lena and Alex were now alone.
They stumbled through the mist, the creatures closing in.
Before they could escape, a massive creature lunged from the mist.
Its decayed hand grabbed Alex, lifting him into the air.
Alex screamed as the creature's claws tore into him, ripping him apart.
Blood sprayed as his body was shredded, the creature consuming him.
Lena was left alone, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The creatures closed in, their eyes gleaming with hunger. Lena backed away, but there was no escape. The creatures lunged, their claws slicing through the air. Lena's screams echoed as they tore into her, blood spraying everywhere. Her desperate cries were swallowed by the darkness as she was ripped apart. In the end, silence reigned over the twisted landscape, the realm reclaiming the blood and bones of those who dared to enter its nightmarish depths.